This has been like floating around the internet for the last week or so, and I actually inspired the title of today's show. So I figured we might want to lead off with this one. But before we do, maybe we should go around the horn. Do we need? Does the world need men?
The world?
Yes.
We all need each other.
Do you need men?
I don't need men.
You don't need men. Do you need men?
Of course, she doesn't need men. This is 2024. What else is new? What else is new? I don't need a man. Oh, God. Jesus.
In a particular way, I feel like I need a man, like in that I'm personally more of a traditional woman. I do like that need, whereas like
I bet you if you I bet you if you ask her, she's an OnlyFans creator or a stripper but she's a traditional woman. Like this whole thing doesn't even make any sense. Like all these chicks, I'm traditional. Bruh, she probably got OnlyFans or she's a stripper. Either one of those two things. There is no way. But she's a traditional woman. God, this sort of things, man, gives me headaches. The cognitive dissonance with women sometimes is just insane. Well, let's keep going.
Protect her, to feel safe. That is the kind of need that I need. But that being said, it doesn't mean that I need him to survive. I will say that I came from a very masculine upbringing because I grew up very poor and very like put down from my dad. So it turned me into a very masculine woman, and I interacted with a lot of men. During that time, during my upbringing, I had a lot of bad interactions because I was very masculine. I ended up attracting very, the polar opposite. But then once I learned that and I took some time to myself and fully embodied my feminine energy, that's when I actually called in a true masculine man.
Miranda, in season, how many plates can you leg press? In season.
Can I leg press?
How many? Can you do 4? Like 400?
I've done up to 6 on each side.
You've done six 45-pound plates on each side?
Yes.
When I met you, that was one of the things I thought. I was like, this girl can squat.
Andrew, do you think that women need men?
Women would go extinct within 90 days if there was no men.
Oh, thank you, Aaron Clary.
Very nice.
Do you think that
I'm going to completely disagree with what you just said.
Okay.
I think I'm going to disagree with everything he said.
So just so we're clear, if an EMP went exploded over say Kansas and knocked out all the electrical circuits in the United States, 95% of the population would be dead within 3 weeks. So he's not wrong. I agree with him. Like statistically,
are we like
90 days? I think all women would die without men. Yeah, it'd be pretty good.
So
but
we're
that's
not just
because
talking
you guys
about
put yourself in that position to.
We're not just talking about our own individual lives. We're talking about the world.
I mean, is there some girl in Wyoming with a fucking axe and a shotgun who could probably make it 90 days? Yeah, probably. There's probably
the world. Yes, obviously, of course, we need men and women individually. I guess it's up to the woman to decide whether or not.
What about you personally? Do you need men?
Well, yeah, I love my dad and my brother and my nephews. So yes, I need men.
Do you need men?
I will say yes, I do.
You do? Wow.
Yes.
Loretta needs men. David,
you think the world needs a man? Women are indecisive creatures, so they need a man for guidance.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes. Jesse can't figure out what she's going to say about that. She can't.
No,
decide.
I 100%.
I'm fucking with you.
I wholeheartedly agree. I just think that men also position themselves since the beginning of time to be the ones that learned how to build and learned how to drive and learned how to create certain things. So now women are in this situation where if you guys disappeared,
he's such a prick.
If guys disappeared, I mean, we would struggle for a very long time. But I think that women could eventually get to the point where they can figure stuff out.
Andrew, what do you think about this?
Do you think
I'm sorry, didn't she say she doesn't need a man? Now she's walking it back. Now she's walking it back. Oh, men are this and this and this. Didn't she say she doesn't need a man? I mean, all of them say they don't need a man. All of them think they don't need a man. When you're watching that, and Andrew Wilson, I love Andrew Wilson. He's the best debater on YouTube. I love this guy. He got it spot on. In 90 days, women will go including a chunk of men, a huge chunk of men will also go extinct. What was that? The EMP hitting, the satellite and everything going dark. Yeah, a lot of people will go, but women will be the first to go. definitely women will be the first to go, because when it comes to desperation, when it comes to people fighting for resources, yeah, you cannot. I don't know no woman that I can take anything from. If I want to take anything from a woman, I can. If most men, if an average man want to take anything from a woman, they can. So I don't see how a woman would survive in such a, in post-apocalyptic world. I can't see how. You can't fight, or you're not strong enough to fight off a guy. So something's got to give. You die out, you go extinct. That's biology. So if it comes to a place where we are all desperate, women are desperate, men are desperate for resources, women will go. Women, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, women will go. Because if it's between me and a woman for my survival, she will go. That is putting it mild. She would go. But anyway, let's continue. Let's continue. These women are very delusional.
Do you need men?
Yeah, I'm very happily married.
Oh, yeah.
I like men. I love men. I want men. I want women as well. But yeah, I absolutely.
I'm
think
sorry,
it's
what was
very
your rank again?
men.
I'm first lieutenant.
First lieutenant.
I'm not
I'm
in
just-
anymore.
First lieutenant.
but
Okay.
yeah.
Do you need?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree that women need men. I would disagree that women generalized would be lost without men in terms of like their ability to make their own decisions and be decisive, because I'm very decisive. I'm a leader in the military.
Well, how would that be possible since you're a neurotic creature naturally?
I don't know who you're talking about, but you're not talking about
Well,
me.
I'm speaking in general.
Yeah.
in
Well,
general.
well, I don't
Not you.
subscribe to your idea that women are neurotic. I'm not neurotic.
Do you know what? Do you know the differences
don't know
between
me.
like generalities and?
No, I
do?
definitely do. Yeah, I'm educated, real
Okay,
educated.
Fair enough. But I mean,
Um,
it sounds like you really don't understand what generalities is. Want me to explain it for you?
Wait,
Parking
hold
lots.
on a second. Why are you fighting with me right now?
I'm not fighting. I mean, I said something.
This
that
was
you said
my
you
turn to
disagreed with.
answer a question, and I was just saying I disagree with your statement.
Fair enough.
Jory, let's roll tape now. Now's the time to roll the tape.
I was just saying I disagree with your statement that women in general, which is what your statement
Amy,
was.
Amy, let me ask you a question. Are women as decisive as men in general? Let's say the middle standard deviation. So this is a normal distribution of men and women. Do men make more decisive decisions than women, do you think?
I would say, well, first of all, I don't have enough data, but what I do know from my own experience in my own, workforce, et
Yeah.
cetera, there's way more men in leadership positions.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons for that.
'Cause they're
I
better
love
at it.
men. I would totally disagree, quote unquote, they're better at it. But I definitely think men are important. They're valued. They're needed. They're an essential part of the world. So I love men. Men are awesome.
Beautiful. Andrew, you had a comment about what Jesse said earlier. What were you thinking?
Yeah. So you think that the reason that women aren't building things because that was like nobody taught them how. That's what you think?
You're asking me
Yeah.
a non-rhetorical question. I mean,
Non-rhetorical.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that since the beginning of time, men have put themselves at a higher education and Okay, good. Tell me why I'm wrong.
How are they?
Please.
How are they able to put themselves above women?
You tell me from history.
Well, let me
I'm
ask you.
asking. Well, hang on. It was your statement. You said men have kept women away from the ability to do things that men generally do.
Weren't women not allowed to go to school for a really long
Yeah.
time?
So
Weren't
how
men
are
put into government
right,
political
yep,
positions?
I agree with all that.
Okay.
How is it though that men are able to do that and women can't stop them?
You tell me. I don't know, because they would get killed. They would be overpowered.
Right. So it's a
Okay.
force applicator, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're talking about force, got to ask you something. Do you think that your rights come from you, or do you think your rights come from men?
100% they come from men.
They 100% come from men, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So men are the ones who give you your rights. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that.
Because you've put yourselves in that position. Yes.
And you can't take us out of that position.
I can't what?
Women can't take us out of that position. Only men can, right?
Well, maybe a woman could tell you get a manicure because you need one.
Okay. What's happening right now? Okay.
Jory, quick, give me the tape.
Yeah, here's a personal insult. Anyway, so back to where we were at.
Well, that just lowered you down really far.
No, stop.
Yeah, you don't have to go
Stop.
personal.
We need
Come
men.
in with information. You don't need to make fun of someone's voice.
You mean the woman who just attacked me? The woman who just attacked.
Oh my
attacked me
God, you're
back?
such a
That's too
victim. I feel
much?
so bad for you. You
Oh
were
my God.
attacked.
All right,
Oh my God. Everyone that's, I feel so bad for you.
I'm
You
glad
were
that there's.
attacked.
I'm glad that there's
Oh,
two twins here. It's
no.
twice as stupid. That's perfect.
I mean, like we definitely should focus on the intelligent side of the conversation instead of going personal.
Well, a statement I made in the beginning, I said that women are indecisive creatures and they need guidance, right? I made that statement, and then I backed it up. You said, "Well, you."
But that's
disagree with
about
that.
me.
But
You're
let me-
you're saying
let
that
me-
about my gender.
Let me just finish my sentence. And then you said, "Well, I disagree." I said that, well, generally women are neurotic, right? Neurotic means that they experience more negative emotions. And you just proved it, because why are you so irate right now when we're having a regular conversation?
You were the first person to jump down like
No, I
at
didn't
me.
jump down your
Yes,
throat. We're
you
having a
did.
conversation.
No. We weren't having
But
a conversation. I
but
was
think
giving
about it,
my
look,
answer, and you
we're having a
jumped on me.
conversation, but you're the only one that's experiencing negativity.
No,
from
that's
it.
you.
I'm not experiencing.
You were the
any
first person to.
You seen what's happening here? Now, I bet you those women on the panel, they have never been challenged on their stupidity. They have never been challenged on their, well, for lack of a better term, logic. When they were challenged, you saw how Andrew kind of slowly broke that woman down to get to the point where she realized that, okay, man, she needs a man, because men are the ones that hand out their rights, including the rights that she has to say that she doesn't need a man. This is how delusional women have gotten. Men grant them all these rights for them to actually be comfortable enough, be sane enough, and be stupid enough to say, I don't need a man, even though the men that you say you don't need are the ones that are protecting the rights and the voice that you have to say that you don't need a man. In other countries, women don't even have. Go to Saudi Arabia, go to anywhere in the Arabic kingdom, in in Asia, and say that you don't need a man, and say all these feminist BS that women in the West say that they don't need a man, and they scream it at the top of their lungs, they don't need a man. Go to anywhere you go to Iraq, go to Iran, go to Jordan, go to Yemen, go to all these countries and scream out like that and see what happens to you in 5 minutes. Just go there and see what happens to you in 5 minutes. These are places that women don't have a voice, because men say you do not have a voice. In this country and in this part of the world, men say you have a voice, and men have given you that right and fought and died for you to have that right to say that you don't need a man. It's insane, but it is the world that we live in. Women scream at the top of their lungs all this feminist nonsense. I can do whatever a man can. In fact, I can even do better than a man. I can whatever a man can do, I can do better. It's a slogan. Men grant you the right to say that stupid, dumb stuff, and you say it anyway. It's crazy, yo. Anyway, let's continue this video, man. I swear to God, this video is driving me crazy.
Replay the tape. You were the first person to do
it's
it.
not about what I'm
Actually,
doing. It's
she
about
was
what
answering
you
the
feel.
question. You interrupted her, so I 100% agree with her.
They were having a
She was
discussion.
literally
We were having a
just answering
discussion.
the
Yeah, we were
question,
having a
and you
discussion.
interrupted her.
It's just a combative nature. That's all. When someone
pretty
says
much
something
proved my
like I was asked, when I was asked the question, I gave a response, and the men decided to laugh in the faces of all the women here. When you're asking us a question, when I come on these shows, I don't come to scold or insult anyone for their intelligence or their
100%.
opinion.
Just me.
I sit here,
Just me.
yeah, because you're dumb.
Just
But
me.
I love you.
Yeah, just me.
But I sit here and I take what everyone says and I try to learn a little bit from everybody. I might be 100% wrong in something. Me sitting here and being willing to talk to you about it and learn from you is a bigger thing than me coming here and saying, I have an opinion. I'm going to say it. I'm going to be right no matter what. And what you did was you started a combative nature of discussion with her.
No, the reason why
and
you
you guys
think
laughed
it's
in my
combative
face.
is because you feel more negative emotions than men. I didn't feel anything negative about it. Do you understand? You're missing it.
No,
I think you're missing that you were
tone.
rude.
Okay.
You missed,
Tone.
Got-
you missed
because you
right,
feel that it was negative.
Okay,
That's why it's
so
rude.
so I'm gonna play.
self-aware.
Oh,
That's why you missed it.
Amy, I'm gonna play devil's
Back it
advocate.
down. Now.
Okay, so what another way of looking at this might be this, right? Women in general will feel a range of emotions that is greater than men's. Okay, in general they will. In general, okay, I'm not saying every time. I definitely know some fucking E5s that don't do that. But on the negative side, what he's talking about with the neurosis, some women will be triggered. Okay, for sure. But like some women will be triggered to where they're a broken egg. All of a sudden, everything will cause them to react far more negatively. If I acted negatively to everyone who insulted me, I'd be in prison because I'd be getting in fights all the time. There's certain times when I was like, hey, this guy's talking shit, but I make more money than him and he's just jealous of my girlfriend. I need to not respond. Does that make sense? And so what he's saying is those negative emotions can be so much deeper for women sometimes that they react to them more so. And I got to say, in general, I agree. In general, I agree that that's what I see most of the time. Also, he wasn't talking about you specifically. You're a lieutenant in the fucking army who went through jump school. You're very different when it comes to women. You're at the 3 standard deviations outside the norm. And so for you, your experience might be different. Does that make sense?
Oh, no, absolutely. But that's why when I hear generalized terms, I say, well, hold on a second. Like,
Well, so here's the thing. This is a show broadly about sociology. Right, broadly, we're talking about society dealing with itself. In order to do that, you have to use generalizations. Does that make sense? So that in doing so, it's going to make people upset. Do you want to show the clip there?
let's do it. Now, here's the reason why I asked you all this.
Yeah.
Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
No?
We don't need short men.
Do you need a man?
No.
Need a man?
Oh, God.
Do you need a man?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
No.
Do we need men? No. No? Do we need men?
We need men to make us stupid.
Do we need men? Do we need men? Do women need men in this world? Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because we can be strong, independent women.
Do we need men?
Like, not necessarily, but like, if I can look at them, like, we need a man to look at.
Do we need men?
No.
No, why?
Nobody needs men.
Really?
We do not need men.
Why not? Why do we need men?
Why would I need a man?
So what can you get from someone else that you don't get from a man?
The only thing I can get from a man that I can't get anywhere else is dick.
Okay.
And I don't need dick.
Do we need women?
Yes.
We do. Why?
These women are awesome.
Do we need women?
Of course.
Why?
Yeah, you do need one.
They're beautiful.
Do we need women?
Women make us feel compassionate and affectionate.
Do we need women?
Of course we do.
Do we need women?
Yes.
Why?
Because they're hot.
That's my Sartain answer
They're
right
hot.
Do we need women?
I mean, shit, unless they're gay.
Do we need women?
Do we need women?
Yeah.
Yes, who's going to do my dishes?
All right.
Okay.
So
There
now
you go.
we already did that. We did the Q&A here, but the question is, why were so many women so prevalent to do that? So there's a woman named Lori Gottlieb. She just wrote a book recently. And in the book, she surveys a bunch of men and a bunch of women. She asked a group of men, you're like, if you got 80% of what you wanted in a partner, would you be happy? And the men overwhelmingly said,
This
yes, they
again?
would be very happy. And they asked women, they said, if you got 80% of what you wanted in a partner, would you happy? And overwhelmingly, the women said, no, that's settling. So there seems to be like some differentiation where it seemed to me like these men appreciated women, but not the other way around. Why do you think all these women felt that way, that they didn't need men?
We talked about this in the last episode. Men have created an unsafe place for women, and women have begged men to act right for so long.
You think it's unsafe? I think it's like 50 years ago was incredibly unsafe. The World War I was way more unsafe than this. I think men have created a very
exactly
safe.
why there's a problem in this world. It is more and more unsafe, not less and less unsafe. The only thing is that it's more unsafe now in a more sneaky way than it was before. But it is a common experience for almost every woman to feel unsafe when walking out of her house.
Okay, I see what you're saying. But
And-
you don't think women felt unsafe walking out of their house previously in
I don't
previous
think
generations?
it was as bad as it is right now.
I think people were getting away with stuff a lot back then too. You don't
what
think
do you
so?
say men built the house for women to feel safe in?
Huh?
Men
built the house
for women to feel safe in.
Okay.
Some
Yeah, so-
some men, because I would love a man like
I mean,
that.
even
That's
if
for
we go from
sure.
the beginning of time,
That's
men
not
built
even
everything.
relevant.
Of course,
He's
why-
asking
How
about
isn't
women
it
feeling
relevant?
safe. He's not asking who builds the house.
Yeah, but
Focus.
how is she
That
going
does
to?
not-
But how is she going to feel safe? Like again, like
I understand the home that he
Those are two
built for her.
different things. Those
I
are two different
understand.
things.
I think he's saying it like in a non-literal term. You build the house and you make the woman feel safe and you have a home with her. I understand that aspect. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm speaking just in
You're
general.
talking about like a contractor that went and built something.
No, just
Well,
in
and-
general, men built everything. You said that you don't think that your women are safe, right? Well,
No, I'm telling you what we think.
Well, what
This
you
is
think
not something that
reality.
men. Here's the thing. This is not something men can comment on at all. This is not what's your opinion at all. You don't get a say in this. women don't feel safe. Period.
Do you think that feelings supersedes reality?
No.
Okay, so
I
what you
think
said
proof.
was very nonsensical. It doesn't make any
I
sense.
think there's proof.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think there's proof.
What
actual
proof do you have? I got
Plenty
more
of
proof than you.
Articles, news, anything that you see where
Jesse, women aren't less safe. We have the lowest crime rate in probably maybe forever. We actually are. You should read. There's a book about this called Enlightenment Now by Steven Pinker, and he goes over how every single metric, poverty is lower and we have less crime. And how about child mortality? How about mortality during birth?
Wait, I'm actually going to take your side, Jesse.
Yeah.
I know this sounds crazy.
I'm
here.
waiting for the sarcastic
No,
comment right after.
no sarcastic comment. You said you don't feel safe.
That was
right?
exactly my point.
Do you think that women are unsafe, or do you think that they just feel unsafe for a lot of different, various reasons? Is it a feeling, or is it something that you can say, you know what, we're less safe today than we were before? Or is it a general kind of you just said, I'm speaking for women on behalf of women, right?
Mm-hmm.
We feel unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with you on that. And I'll tell you why. Because women are the vulnerable sex.
Right.
They are the ones that men have to protect, provide, and provision for since we were running around in the sub-Saharan African savannas as hunter-gatherers. Okay. So when women say I feel unsafe, it's generally because they're the ones that are charged with having children, being the incubators of the next generation. So of course you're going to feel unsafe, because when you are pregnant with a child for 9 months at a pop, and then have another one and another one after that, then yes, you're the vulnerable sex and rely on men to help have them make you feel safe in a very chaotic world that, death is right around the corner. Right. So.
Oh God, this is crazy, y'all. What does she mean she doesn't feel safe? I mean, feeling safe and being safe is two different things. You telling me that you don't feel safe in 2024? You live in Las Vegas. I'm sure you live in a condo. You drive a nice car and you don't feel safe in 2024. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. You don't feel safe. What the hell does that even mean? You don't feel safe. Just because you don't feel something doesn't mean it's reality. Go to the Middle East and ask those women whether they feel safe. Go to Africa and ask those women whether they feel safe. You live in America. You live in the West. You live in Las Vegas. You live in the most decorated, the most beautiful city on the planet. And you're telling me that you don't feel safe. This is insane. Insane. Man, I gotta stop this video, man. Anyway, if you like the video, please hit that like button, hit the share button, leave your comments down below. I always love to read them, and if you may, please subscribe. You have a good one.